The ban list for the biggest tournament Yu-Gi-Oh! Has ever had and will ever have is filled with weird decisions, bans, and cultural differences. This is something anyone can probably feel from looking at the lists and not really know why. Just get a general feeling of being off. We can start at the 2014 list, and just to get you up to speed, the baby rulers are banned and the daddies are newly at 1 to give you a time frame. This is about when I started playing the game, so this looks like, the ban list to me. Everyone has their own the ban list, this one's mine. Except for a very few strange factors. I explained in another video about how Blue Eyes won Worlds, how the list is created, and I'd certainly say watch that video for a bit of added context. But that still doesn't make the decision to not only ban Zen Mighty from the TCG's list and Hunter from the OCG's list, but also semi-limit Wind-Up Shark any less like grave desecration. Needlebug Nest's limiting is funny as well, and Goyo Guardian still being banned in the OCG for the next few years after this point made TCG players really wonder why their game was so weird. And if you like this sort of content, be sure to subscribe as it helps me out a lot with the new channel. 2015 is a much more standard list with a lot less egregiously wrong picks, so I'll talk about more general ideas for this one. Exclusive cards aren't allowed, which makes sense, but that's where the sense stops making at all. Emergency Provisions, Mystic Walk, Rainbow Life, and Try and Guess were all banned for the event despite never being hit in either format, or in any format ever. This is because they're all banned in Japan's World Championship qualifiers. I guess stalling life points to win by time rules was either really good or super frowned upon, yet they printed Sky Strikers, what a world. They also made sure to ban cards that the Japanese had easily because they were hard to get prize cards for TCG players. These would include Blood Mephist, Dvorjak, King of Heavy Industry, and number 106 Giant Hand this year, but many others fell into this camp. Funnily enough, most of these cards were never, ever good, or would see any play, like Diabolos the Mind Hacker, or Dvorjak, and I hope I'm saying that correctly, someone please point it out, I'm pretty sure I'm doing it right, but they were hit for being too expensive and rare. I guess the cutoff point for the game goes somewhere above $300 for a single Necroza Brionac, but below the entire down payment on a house. This gets even weirder when you consider that Ascension Skydragon is in this exact same boat, yet is limited for the exact same reason, instead of banned. It is at 1, not 0. I've wondered this for years, I have gotten no answer through my research, so if y'all have anything, please leave a comment and tell me why this happened at all. My only guess is that it came out the year prior? So do you get like a year to use the last world card? I have no idea. I don't know. 2016 is one I've covered more extensively, so I'll keep it brief. Banning a funny Stardust monster and then going, technically, to 2 cards from a special edition because they're from the set later after the cutoff point, even though they're from a set within the cutoff point's special edition period. I don't get it, whatever, who cares, it doesn't matter, it's a little bit weird. But then they go and ban Ascension Skydragon, so now I'm convinced it was a clerical error that no one saw or cared about the prior year, except they put Minerva back into that slot. It's not, like, it's older. It's older than a year. I don't get it. I have no idea. No clue. I don't care. I didn't ask. There are no questions anymore. Only answers, and none of them make any sense. This one is even good! Minerva's even a good card. It warped decks around it, gave Lightsworn some sort of breath of life, even more than the Structure deck did. It was an incredible extra deck staple for years, and it probably would have been hit in other formats if it existed beyond the $10,000 price point at the time, but no. At least we're saved from the pain of Snowplow Hustle Rustle format since it's banned at Worlds. I was already sorry if you bought Dual Carnival, but now I'm even sorrier. 2017 is the first year that we get to see Europe and Oceania really get in on the madness. There were multiple cards that weren't legal for play over there, and therefore got banned at Worlds. Apprentice Illusion Magician, Gagaga Head, Infernity General, Troposphere, Odd Eyes Persona Dragon, Odd Eyes Phantom Dragon, Unity, Yujo Friendship, keep that in your mind, I'm going to come back to it in just a second, Judgment of Pharaoh, Beelzeus of the Diabolic Dragons, Stardust Chronicle Spark Dragon, Galaxy Eye Cypher Blade Dragon, and number 72 Shogi Rook are all banned from play. But this isn't the first year, so why bring it up now? You see, it's very hard to get Konami to actually answer any questions or give any sort of reasons for anything, so the fan base just speculates. That's what I did in my Snatch Steal being unbanned for a single format video, and you can check that out. But I kinda just had to speculate for the most part, because you don't really get patch notes and notes to the patch notes, you just kinda get what happened. Here's the ban list, deal with it. No reason. Europe isn't its own format, so the joke was always that the Japanese just didn't want to shake your hand and therefore banned Yu-Gi-Oh! Friendship. That was always the assumption. There was no other basis to go off of. This was the first year that a reason was given for any card mentioning this one to be banned, but the damage was already done. I guess the Europeans don't like good sportsmanship? I never knew. The actual reason for most of these is that they were promotional manga cards that could have been imported to the continent, but never were. I mean, they're in English, so you'd think that'd be enough, but that's not how things work. You start to get the idea, so I'd like to throw in some general mentions and very funny bans here at the end. Self-destruct button was originally in the same boat as the life point gaining cards, but the TCG actually banned it, so it fell under the actual ban category, which I find, good. Many people think that part of this list exists because of Frog FTK being proof that an FTK can actually win Worlds, so they're being super cautious to not just embarrass themselves. And lastly, I want to bring up the 2019 actual straight-up Worlds ban list with no qualifications and all of the bloat you could ever imagine. This is a list of 567 cards, most of them being normal monsters from the Great Depression that never got imported. You thought I was joking with that thumbnail, didn't you? Oh yeah, blue-eyed zombie dragon, you fucking skull dude. That can't be banned. You didn't even think. I'm gonna tell you right now, I wasn't even lying to you. You didn't even get baited. It's just genuinely a banned card in multiple years of formats, meaning every World Championship, this card has been banned longer than Pot of Greed. This card has been banned longer than all of your favorite banned cards. I hope you pray to your new god. Oh, also there are like cards from sets that are too new and only in Japan, but the funniest image you can imagine is people saying blue-eyed silver zombie would break the game wide open. If you like this one, click on this video that tells you all about why a garbage starter deck card was seeing real, actual meta play. I'm really proud of that video. Go on ahead and check it out.